Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
To crime time conversation, where the truth speaks and the people listen. From Cape Town to Maryland, from Nimba to Montserrado, the future calling Liberia. When the voices of the people start to rise, you can see the truth within their eyes. Too many years of struggle and pain, still the people dancing in the rain. But hope is growing in the land tonight, a new vision coming into sight. A servant leader walking with the crowd, speaking truth, humble but proud. This is prime time conversation, talking about the nation's transformation. From the villages to the city life, Liberia searching for what is right. Education for every girl and boy, healthcare bringing hope and joy. A stronger future we can see for every Liberian family. Hear the farmers calling from the field, waiting for the harvest that the land can yield. Technology knocking at the nation's door, young minds ready to explore. Electric power shining through the night, security standing for what is right. The economy rising for everyone, a new chapter has begun. This is prime time conversation, voices of a rising generation. Agriculture feeding every home, no more hunger, no more roam. From Cable down to Maryland shore, the people say we must do more. From Nimba Hills to Montserrado streets, the future and the people meet. Now the people talking in the marketplace about a man who walks with steady pace, a leader with a vision for the land, reaching out with a helping hand. From humanitarian work to leadership call, standing strong when the people fall, talking about dignity, justice and trust, serving the nation because he must. Not for power, not for fame, but to lift Liberia's name. A vision rising clear and bright, leading the nation toward the light. Oh, Liberia, hear the cry. Let the children reach the sky. When the people stand as one, the victory has begun. The conversation starts tonight, speaking truth and shining light. Together we can build again for the daughters and the sons. This is prime time conversation, voices of a hopeful nation. Education, health and peace, let the nation struggle cease. With strong leadership guiding the way, Liberia rising day by day. From every county hear the call, a better future for us all. Where Liberia speaks, the conversation continues.
Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you find yourself. This is Prime Time Conversation, and I'm Dr. Pearson, and it's good to be back on your radio today on Kia Radio FM 95.9 and on LIB Feature Television. I have anchoring our news tonight is Lavetta Davis, and my producer tonight is, as usual, Jefferson Weir. I want to say welcome, Lavetta,
Yeah, good evening.
and welcome, Jefferson.
Thank you, Dr. Pearson. How are you? It's been a while. I mean,
How you
for
know? It's been a while. It's good to
yeah,
be back. It's a
yeah,
pleasure. All
yeah.
right, so we give it over to Lavetta for the news update on our show tonight. Lavetta is all yours.
Good evening and welcome to LRB Fisher News Update. I'm Lovecta Davis. EPA cracks down on heron clusters mining operations in major Wapolo swamp. The Environmental Protection Agency has shut down mining activities linked to political commentator turned miner Heron Costa in Wapolo County over alleged illegal operations and environmental violations. According to EPA inspectors, Erica Mining Company was operating without a valid environmental permit while using expired prospecting licenses that do not legally authorize full-scale mining activities. The inspector stated that authorities immediately halted the operations and barricaded heavy mining equipment at the site. Meanwhile, another company, Cosmos Investment Corporation, was also cited for multiple violations, including river diversion and poor environmental practices. The EPA says the nationwide crackdown on illegal and environmentally harmful mining activities will intensify as Liberia mounts to protect its water bodies and enforce sustainable mining laws. A new Human Rights Watch report says school fees are forcing thousands of Liberian children out of classrooms despite laws guaranteeing free education through ninth grade. The report found that roughly one third of Liberian children between ages 3 and 17 have never attended school, while only 17% complete grade 9. Human Rights Watch said mandatory registration fees, exam charges, uniforms, and transportations costs are major barriers for low-income families already struggling with poverty. Researchers interviewed 179 people across 5 counties between November 2025 and January 2026 and found many children are sent home from school when parents cannot pay fees. Some children begin school years late, with more than 60% of junior and senior secondary students reportedly overrange for their grade levels. The report also documented cases of children leaving school entirely to work in markets, farms, and small businesses to support their families. Liberia's education sector cripples with over 6,000 volunteer teachers amid budget concerns. The Ministry of Education has disclosed that Liberia currently has a total of 6,198 volunteer teachers serving in school across the country, highlighting ongoing challenges within the nation's education system. According to the ministry, the institution's direct operational budget stands at 53.8 million United States dollars, while the entire education sector receives a combined allocation of 168 million United States dollars. The revelation has renewed public discussion over teacher welfare, salary support, and the government's capacity to fully absorb volunteer teachers into the national payroll. This has repeatedly raised concerns among senators about the growing number of unpaid and underpaid teachers, especially in rural communities where volunteers educators continue to play a critical role in sustaining classroom instruction. The disclosure was made by Anthony Yeke Wafokba, Deputy Minister for Administration of or at the Ministry of Education when he appeared before Senate plenary. Anthony Fogba represented the Minister of whom is believed to be out of the country. Montserrado County District Number 16 representative has formally requested the appearance of the heads of the National Public Health Institution of Liberia infield and the Minister of Health to appear before the full plenary of the House of Representatives. According to the communication, the request is for the two institutions to discuss Liberia's preparedness and response strategies regarding the recent Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has been declared a public health emergency of international concern by the World Health Organization. The communication stated that the ongoing situation poses a significant risk of further spread given Liberia's proximity to the affected regions alongside its historical experiences with Ebola outbreaks, particularly the devastating crisis between 2014 and 2016 that resulted in significant loss of life. The communication further that the WHO's warnings concerns the Boyo virus and its potential escalation necessitate Liberia's readiness to respond effectively. In light of the reported cases and the risk factor identified by the WHO, including high population, mobility, and urban nature of the affected areas, it is critical that infield and MOH state measures have in place to prevent resurgence of Ebola in our community. Further understanding the current status of the country's public health infrastructure, surveillance systems, and community awareness campaigns will be vital for ensuring the safety and health of citizens. ANC political leader Alexander Cummings is calling on the government of Liberia to improve the country's judicial, regulatory, and taxation systems to attract foreign direct investment. Cummings said, without respect for the rule of law and proper economic regulations, it will be difficult for Liberia to attract foreign investors. Speaking via telephone on a radio show following the conclusion of the 2026 African Business Leader Forum in Rwanda, Cummings urged the government to create the right environment for investment and job creation for Liberian citizens. The 2026 African Business Leaders Forum brought together more than 2,000 business executives and political leaders to explore ways of strengthening Africa's economy. Cummings further that the forum aimed to encourage business owners to collaborate within and across African countries to promote growth and development skills. Alternative National Congress ANC political leader Alexander Cummings has pledged a more aggressive political and communication strategy ahead of Liberia's 2029 presidential elections, declaring that his party will no longer allow opponents to shape its public image or dominate the national narrative. You present the future of our country, Cummings told the Liberian students in Kigali, Rwanda. We want the opportunity to serve so we can grow the economy, create jobs for you and your friends and relatives, and guarantee every Liberian the right to put a hand on a bowl of rice. Cummings said the ANC is preparing for a more organized and aggressive political campaign ahead of the next presidential election, with a major focus on rapid response communication, grassroots mobilization, and youth engagement. We let the opposition define who we are. Cummings said, we are going to defend ourselves this time. When they lie, we will react immediately. Cummings placed Liberia's young people at the heart of his political vision, describing them as both the biggest victims of poor governance and the country's greatest hope for change. You don't have to be an ANC member to support us, he told the students. I will be running for president of Liberia, not president of ANC. Our country is rich, yet our people are poor, he said. That it is not a resource problem, that is a leadership problem. He pointed to Liberia's iron ore, gold, Adama, Timos resources, and Atlantic coastline as assets capable of generating jobs and prosperity if managed properly. Cummings identified agriculture, tourism, housing, and information technology as key sectors that could absorb thousands of unemployed young Liberians. Referencing Rwanda's post war transformation, he argued that African countries can achieve meaningful development when leadership prioritizes accountability, discipline, and long term planning. The chairman of the Liberian community in Rwanda, representing 4,000 Liberians residing in the country, commended Cummings for honoring a financial commitment to support an ongoing community sports tournament in Kigali. We sincerely care for our people and our country, he said, and we want to change it for the benefit of all Liberians. And the Supreme Court of Liberia has dismissed a bill of information seeking contempt sanctions against House Speaker Richard Coon and members of the House of Representatives, ruling that the respondents were never properly served with the court's rates of prohibition and accompanying stay order. In a strongly worded opinion signed by Chambers Justice Yusuf Kabar on May 20, 2026, the High Court held that the failure to properly serve the House of Representatives in accordance with its own internal rules rendered the contempt proceeding legally defective. The ruling presents a significant legal development in the ongoing tension between the judiciary and the legislature over compliance with judicial orders and constitutional authority. Those were the latest news update from Liberia. My name is Lovecta Davis. Good evening.
Thank you, Lovetta. Thank you, Lovetta. It was a pleasure having you present us the news tonight. I want to say thank you for the work you do and for the service. As you get home, please get home safe, and we wish you well, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, that is Lovetta Davis. She brought us a news update, and if you're viewing, this is the primetime conversation, and we come on air every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time and at 7 p.m. in Liberian time. And if you're following us in Liberia on Care Radio FM 95.9, want to say you're welcome. I've been off the radio for the last 2 Thursdays, and we've had some studio upgrade, and then later on I had some other engagements that I had to catch up with, and we had to do some repeat broadcast. But quickly, what's on the menu tonight? And I want to say thanks to my producer Jefferson. Jefferson is going to be in the background today. The critical voice. He's taking some rest there. Jefferson, Jerry, last I'm gonna take this ride. It's gonna be a monologue tonight, and I hope I can get this ride safely, to the end of the destination. And we will still be doing the call in, so Jefferson will help us with the call. Between the show, I will ask Jefferson to please call us some of the scratch cards that we have, the last 4 digits number of the scratch cards. If you can get those numbers right at the end of the at the end of each of the show tonight, when we open the lines to call, if you can get any of those scratch cards last 4 numbers correctly, you win yourself a scratch card to recharge your phone if you're in Liberia. It could be orange, it could be Lone Star, the different types they got there. We get only 2 major ones, right, Jefferson? What are the 2 types we got there?
We have orange and Lone Star.
Orange and the Lone Star. So you can win yourself a Lone Star scratch card, or you can win yourself an orange scratch card. by following us tonight. And between the show, we'll call the numbers. If you hear the last four numbers of a scratch card, just write it down, keep it. At some point, when we open the lines to take calls, you can call in, and if you remember those numbers, you win the scratch card. All right, so what is on the menu tonight? We have a couple of trending discussions in Liberia. We'll briefly just look at a preview of a recap, I should say, of Alexander Mr. Cummings' visit to the African CEO Forum in Kigali, Rwanda. It's an important visit, and we just want to recap that. We also want to highlight the fact that he met with some students while he was there. We just want to recap that, and then we want to go back on the recent conversation about Yeka Koluba and bring you our own fresh perspective on the Karuba issue. If you follow the primetime conversation, you know we are not short of opinion on current issues that are obtaining Liberia, and we bring some unique conversation to the table. So we'll look at the Yeka Koluba court case quickly and bring you up to speed on that. If you are ardent followers in the diaspora, we'll bring you up to speed on that with some videos as well. And then we will look at former Minister Samuel Tuer trial update. They're still developing issues around the juror investigation. We'll talk about that. And the asset recovery team calling him back, calling him to for some investigation and playing some tabata with the former minister. And corruption, don't forget, corruption for us as a country remains a major issue. Is one of the fundamental reasons why our country have not been able to develop the way we want to see it develop. So we don't take corruption lightly, and we'll be speaking to some issues relative to that. And we'll look also at the issues that having to do with the Human Rights Watch report, and the mentioned issue of education. We'll take a quick look at that. And then because we're talking education, I want to provide some education on the artist Sasu Boa. I know it came in a public glare and then it went away, but I just want to touch something on it just for educational purpose, right, on that issue. So before we go into our first topic tonight, I want to just show you a video, a recap of video pertaining to Alexander Mr. Cummings' visit to Kigali in Rwanda. So let's get a few words from Mr. Cummings quickly.
Well, let me first of all say it's great to be back in Kigali after so very long. And it's wonderful to see how the country has developed over the many years since I've been here. But this Africa CEO Forum, the theme is about scaling, how Africa and Africans can work together to scale their businesses. And I think Liberia can learn two lessons. One, within the context of Liberia, we need to work together so we can scale within Liberia. And so that means working together as a people, businesses working together, government being supportive of the businesses and business environment and investing in businesses, so again we can get scale, we can make our businesses bigger, they can have impact. The second way I think Liberia can benefit is by collaborating with other countries, so within the Mana River Union, for example, or within ECOWAS, for example, because then it expands the markets where Liberians can sell products that we produce, that we manufacture. So the concept of scaling, which is the theme of this forum, is something that can directly apply to our country. Scale within Liberia and scale across the sub-region and indeed across the continent.
Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, and so let me just throw a couple of lights on this. When I hear Mr. Cummings mention that he's impressed with how Rwanda has developed over the years since he has interacted with them. If you're a Liberian in Liberia listening to me, let me say something to you that we all should take cue from. You know, sometimes you don't know what you're missing based on the fact that you have not traveled to see other places in other countries. So you really don't know what you're missing. It's almost like you you have your house, and the only place you know is your house. The only place you know is your village. The only place you know is your town. The only place you know is your city, right? So everything you see there is what you're familiar with. But if you have the opportunity to move outside of your own environment, and you get exposed to what you see others are doing outside of you, then you begin to see some of the things that you are lacking, right? So it is like you turn the lights on in your room or in your house, all right? And that's what Mr. Cummings is talking about. He is impressed that he has seen over time change. Somewhere around 2012, I think it was 2012 or 2000, between 2011 or 12, I had gone to Botswana. And Jefferson, you're not going to say anything, but I'll call your name since you're on the screen, so people can't think you frozen. But one of the things that I noticed in Botswana while I was there, I went there for a meeting, and one of the things I noticed in Botswana when I went there at the time was that when I left the meeting hall, I like ice cream. Anyone who knows Dr. Pearson know I like ice cream. Jefferson can be snow inside, I will be eating ice cream, right? I love ice cream. So I'm in a hotel, going for this major meeting. I'm in a hotel, and then with my other Liberian counterpart, and I reach out and knock on the doors and say, you know what, let us go out to the supermarket and go get some ice cream. And so obviously, being the head of the team, the truth was on me, I should say. So we got outside, got a commercial vehicle, and it took us to the ice cream to the mall, what appears to be the mall. And Jefferson, driving towards this place, this mall, you see young people, very young people, getting outside of, flashy vehicles. By the way, I didn't see any old car in the poor country, to be frank, and also any old car in the poor country. But you see young people getting from these fancy vehicles, and then Liberian will lecturing. So they're talking, we're chatting, and we're saying to ourselves, wow, they're training family, they're really rich here. And the driver who are driving us around, the guy said, no. And those young people you see down there, those are their own vehicles. And those young people coming down in the coats and the stuff. And the guy is saying that, no, these are those young people you see coming, they are all, those are their own property. So then they open a conversation, right? And then while we're having this conversation with this guy, then we get curious. We want to know why that young people like these at that level have their own cars and things, and they are driving, they look so well kept and things. Jefferson, and then the guy started to tell us that in Botswana, that those young people that were going to school, even up to a tertiary level for free, my brother. And some of them are being paid to go to school. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are being paid to go to school. And when they come out of school, Jefferson, not only that they come out of school, but when they come out of school, say for instance, Jefferson went there and he did agriculture, right? And he graduated. Jefferson read his business plan to go and do his farm. The government will provide the subsidy to make the farm. They provide the equipment to make the farm, and they help you establish your farm. Wow. And I was blown away. And they are graduating. If they are doing computer or they are doing whatever they are doing, IT or whatever, engineering or whatever they're doing, they're going straight into their career, the different fields, because there is available opportunity to absorb them into the economy. And that blew our minds. And so I think in that whole southern African region, I think Mr. Cummings is not overemphasizing that, because I went to Namibia and I saw similar thing. I went to South Africa, I saw similar thing. And what I saw there is that you see a level of change, a level of progress within the lives of the young people. And I'm looking, saying to myself, wow. And so we want to have a Liberia at some point in time that we can see and know that Liberia is moving to a time in a place where people and young people in Liberia can see and know that they will not only go to school, but if they went to school, there is an opportunity for them to be absorbed into the economy, to be able to exercise whatever education they have acquired. And besides, it is in the practice of the education that you are advanced. It's not getting education in a certain way that you advance. It is getting the education and being able to exercise the education that you get even further advanced. And while I was there, at the same time I was there. I didn't go there for a government visit. I was on a private visit, Jefferson. And while I was there with my team, we heard that Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was paying that country visit that same year. The same time we're there, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was visiting the country at the same time. And then we got excited. And the reason why we got excited is because we felt ourselves like, because Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is here and we are seeing what we're seeing, and she is seeing what we think we're seeing. When she go back to Liberia, she will carry the same idea there. Oh my God, how disappointed I was to realize that was not the case. By that time, I was writing my master's at the University of Liberia when I had that experience. Writing my master's at the University of Liberia when I had that experience. So I was excited and saying, maybe Madam Ellen will carry the same idea back to Liberia. Considering that we're coming from war and Liberia is trying to get itself back on track, this is a learning opportunity for the president. And for us who had the opportunity to go outside and see that this good thing would come to Liberia, it never came to Liberia. It never came to Liberia. And for me, it's sad. I would have thought that we'll have leaders like what I'm about to show, Alexander Benedict Cummings, engaging students, Liberian students in Kigali, Rwanda, and making them to understand that the country should understand that there has to be an enabling environment, and that's the kind of mindset we want from leaders. Now, let me play Mr. Cummings' mind on what I'm talking about here, about connecting students to opportunities in the country as they learn.
Welcome to all of you. It's good to meet young Liberians. You all represent the future of our country. We came here to attend the Africa CEO Forum. So it's a forum of many CEOs from around the continent. I'm glad that all of you are in school. Some of you are finishing. We want to create a right environment in Liberia so that one, we can improve our schools, so you don't necessarily have to leave to come to school. It's not a bad thing to come to another country to go to school. It's a good thing. But I wish we had the quality of institutions that they have here so that you don't have to do that. And most importantly, I wish the economy in Liberia was doing well, so you have jobs to go to.
And some of them feel afraid. When they make you president, the usual thing will not be done. Yeah, the usual thing will not be done. The rightful thing will be done always. So they feel like if we make Mr. Cummings president, our hand will be out of the, like the cookie jar. Will not be able to export the Liberia, will not be able to export our resources. Liberia is rich when it comes to resources. If you just take the resources that are in Liberia and bring it to this country, Mr. Cummings, the country will be far ahead of other European countries. I don't want to lie to you. Yeah, we have to use the resources that can be able to build our country. But our people sometimes they just misuse it, just mismanage it for their family, and then they just reach themselves and then they just sit down. Sometimes we use a Bible, or sometimes there's something I can't even say, well, why Liberia can be like this country? Why?
These people consist of students and professionals. Where I attended a diaspora return conference in Liberia, I had the opportunity to have met you. Mm-hmm. You took me as a child, as a son, and I want to appreciate you for the care. Also, during our communication, our conversation, you did promise the Liberian community of Rwanda financial support for our sports tournament, and you did fulfill your promise. I'd like to appreciate you. When we took power as a leadership, We promised the community that we will not the community do sports activities. So now, as we speak, we have almost 6 to 7 chapters within the Liberian community in Rwanda, and our chapter tournament is ongoing currently through your financial help. We want to appreciate you. And come Sunday will be our final games. So we appreciate you, and we hope the relationship continue. So thank you very much, and that God keep blessing you.
Thank you.
You see, there is this lie that people like to tell that Mr. Cummings is not helping people, that he's not making impact in the lives of people. And we keep telling them that, look, this is a man who does not like to show off. And I think that is one of his, it may be a strength as an individual person, but it's also his weakness as someone who wants to be a public figure. So you will understand that these young people are expressing several things with Mr. Cummings in Kigali, Rwanda. And some of the things they're expressing is confidence in leadership. They're like, listen, we even here when we see you passionate to want to lead Liberia, we the young people want to trust your commitment. But because we've been lied to so many times by people before you, it puts doubt in us to even believe any politician anymore that something can change. And I think for anyone who is leading Liberia or wants to lead Liberia should see that, I mean, as a sad thing for a country, that the next generation of young people can have confidence issues with their leaders, and telling their leaders, like, look, we find it hard to keep trusting our leaders going forward. Like, we see that our political leaders tell us, oh, we have the country at heart, we want to move the country forward, give us a chance to lead, but we're now beginning to doubt that they are honest with us. That's deficit in confidence in political structure. And I'm grateful, and I say this, look, Liberians need to understand this. We have not tried Mr. Cummings like we've tried other politicians. Mr. Cummings should be the next president of the Republic of Liberia. Mr. President Alexander Cummings, next president of the Republic of Liberia comes 2029. I love when the other young men said, there is still hope that we have in our voices, in our hearts, in our minds. Despite the confidence issue, we still have hope that with the vast resources that we have and the vast opportunity Liberia has to offer, that there will be a leader, someone who can come and produce for us results that we can feel, that we can see, so that Liberia can tap into its vast potential. Liberia can tap into its vast potential in its young people. And then I like the part where the other young man, even though Mr. Cummings was not willing to say it himself, other young man came up and said, look, you mentioning about we ourselves know you're doing it. Want to mention here that you are helpful to us. He said, even I was sitting here, you have treated me as though I am your son, and you've been very helpful to me, and I want to be very thankful to you for that. And then he mentioned that they have in that Liberian community in Rwanda have about 6 to 7 different chapters of young people that are established in Rwanda, that Mr. Cummings is helping to give them some level of support in their different endeavors that they are having there. This is the kind of leadership that we're looking for in Liberia. We are not looking for people who are only there to get from the Liberian people. We're looking to see people who will come into leadership with the intention to help the country and putting emphasis on the youth. So if you're listening to LRB Feature TV, and this is the Primetime Conversation. I'm your host, Dr. Pearson. So Jefferson, I will pause here for a bit, and I will ask you to please call me at least 3 of the scratch card last 4-digit numbers for viewers that are listening who will want to call later on during the call time to clean those numbers to win those scratch cards. Call me 3 of those scratch cards.
Okay, so the last 4 digits, first 3 cards, we have 9761.
9761. 9761. All right, that got it. The second one.
We have 8032.
8032. Thank you, Jefferson. 8032. Can we call the third one?
0895.
0895. Those of you in Liberia can say 0. That one says 0895. Okay, Jefferson, call one more for me. Just call one more for me.
Okay, 8976.
8976. 8976. All right, so I got an e-back. Somebody told me, say, look, that when you're calling that number, that's some we can come from well late. By the time we get cars to real home, we already late, to jump on the show. So at least those who make effort to come on, call some number, call the number again, number so we can see. So let me say this, right? I will not call these 4 numbers again in the show. Let me be honest with you. You gotta, if you want to get a number, you gotta come soon, right? So, but what I can do for you, if you just joining, I will call these 4 different sets of numbers in row. Since Jefferson just called it for us, I will call it in row before I continue the conversation. All right. Before I do that, I got to punish you a little bit more and give you something to listen to. And I want to give you our ANC girls at our party headquarters on the VP Road.
For better future, support Mr. Cummings.
For better future, support Mr. Cummings. And then so Jefferson called us 4 different sets of numbers, right? And there are any of 4 numbers on each of the scratch cards. He called 4 different scratch cards. And these are the number of my mail. You can write everything down and things that you can call and win all at the same time, which is not possible. These are the numbers. The first number is 9761. Yes, you heard me right. 9761. The second number was 8032. 8032. The third set of number was 0895. 0895. The fourth set of number were 8976. 8976. I'm not calling that number again. I'm calling that number again. That number time finished. Finish calling that number time finished. Let's go back to the conversation. So, Mr. Cummings' visit to Kigali in Rwanda, he said, I take away 2 things, then I move on to the next topic. He said, I take away 2 things from what my visit to the CEO forum of African leaders and presidents and business CEOs, and, I take away 2 things. He said, number 1, Liberia cannot move forward in the absence of unity. Liberia cannot move forward in the absence of unity. It is difficult to see an opposition leader who is calling for unity and not calling for division so that he can divide and conquer. One of the strategies in leadership is you divide and you conquer, which means you scatter the people, then you win some toward to yourself, and you win them small. But this man loves his country to the extent he says, instead of me telling the people all kind of things that will make them to feel discouraged and make them feel better about whoever in the government so they can fail, he said, no. This is what I take away from this conference and interacting with world leaders. He said, we need to unite and make our business environment friendly so that people can be able to come. Another thing he talked about bilateral engagement and multilateral engagement. He said, if we want to be successful and get the best value for our economy to improve, he said, we have to support, and I believe we're referring to the Africa free trade strategy. Let us support the free trade strategy in Africa. Let us work on that agenda for Africa, that free trade policy. Let us improve it. Let us increase inter-country trading. That Liberia and Guinea and Liberia and Africa, instead of us having to be doing border confusion and having to be doing one-man show, he said, look, let us create the enabling environment where we are able to have our goods and services that are produced in Liberia or grown in Liberia, our produce and things, to be sold in our sister African countries. And let me say this, these things cannot happen. If you are listening to me, I will say this to you. These things cannot happen by chance. It has to happen with deliberate planning and deliberate leadership in the country. And that's what he's trying to offer our country. As somebody said in the audience here, they say, oh, Mr. Cummings, you know what I mean to create job. That man was the second highest executive officer of Coca-Cola in Africa. Then you say the man not to create job. You know how many people working on it, man? You know, I can enjoy the other men on the propaganda. Men propaganda can be so cheap. Them men operated billions of dollars. Your government budget can even read $1 billion. You want to compare yourself to this guy? And you want to critique Mr. Cummings? Let me give you this statement before I go to the next topic. Right? Listen to this. You made that funny comment. Let me say this to you. Liberia took her national budget for the first time from $900 million. She took it and projected it to $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. Now I'm thinking that with the recast budget, it has gone more than $1.2 billion plus now for us to capture for 2026. We are almost going 6 months in 2026. Liberia Revenue Authority has not produced one of the quarterly report to tell us, at least their first quarter report here. Since we took that giant step to make the budget $1 billion, we gotta be very meticulous about how we monitor our revenue. We gotta be very meticulous about how we monitor the money coming in that we projected to support this budget, so that if there's any issue, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the National Legislature who passed this budget will be able to make real-time decisions on how to govern the country. No, they have not published one quarterly report, not one. The first quarter reports will be from January, February, and March. It's supposed to cover January to March. That report is not all yet. We're now in May. We're going from March, April. We're not in May. We're coming to enter June. That June we enter June, and we will enter into the second month of the second quarter. Yeah, we have not seen one report from LRA to tell us, oh, we projected that we need at least $280 million every 3 months to support it, to reach the $1.2 billion budget at the end of the year. But at least the 2.8 plus or more million dollars we need every quarter. At least we made the money, or we made the money here. Nobody saying nothing. Everybody like them off. I just give you an example, and I said there's that money in the new. I just give you an example. It's hypothetical. Before you came in for I can call it fact check. It's hypothetical. So NRS say, oh, we show legislature, Senate, representative. We show we can raise $500 million for Q1, quarter one. And then if we keep raising $500 million for every quarter, the $500 million will reach, more than the $1 billion we're looking for. That just say, I just making up that number. But then the quarter one finish ending from January, February, March, quarter one finish ending to up to the day. Nobody show a report yet to say whether we're raising our money, whether we're on target or we're not on target. Is that good leadership? It's bad leadership. Because leaders plan based on what information that I provided them. And let me say this: if President Boyka has real-time information, proper information from LRA, that proper information can even make him to say their trip here are coming to go to America to go spend 2 weeks in America and spend taxpayer money in America for 2 weeks. I will not go, because if I go, I will not be able to pay salaries. LU will not be able to get the money we promised them. The health ministry will not be able to get the money we promised them. Ministry of Education will not be able to get the budget we promised them. Ministry of Defense will not be able to get the budget we promised them, because NRA is not generating the kind of money we need to support the budget that we were looking to expend, the $1.2 plus billion. NRA ain't meeting that target. But no, we hear nothing yet. Then somebody here wants to tell me that people who are acting like this, knows what it means to run a billion-dollar company that Mr. Alexander Cummings run, with a board, with an executive board sitting over you on your neck, and shareholders are on your neck telling you, say, you must produce, report to us to justify if our billion-dollar company and trillion-dollar company is producing results. You don't tell me no kind of thing. I would know. These are the people who are misleading our country. These are the people who are lying to Liberian people and telling them to expect something different, something better, when the example that they are referring to is not genuine. The example that they are referring to is not showing any sign of mature leadership. And Mr. Cummings is saying this and telling the young people, we're praying to see that Liberia will become a country that will show signs of mature leadership. That tomorrow you will come to school abroad and get an education and go back home and be able to serve the country because opportunity is there for you to serve. And then you young people who are here studying, he said, even it hurt me. He said, I pray that you'll be able to go back to your own country and don't need to come to foreign country to get the quality of education you're looking for. That LU will not have soup, sow. I will have to say sow. LU will not have soup. The Student Unification Party is sow, having to demonstrate and say they want justice and they want jobs. Students will not be showing bathrooms that cannot be used by students because it is dilapidated. Senators will not be on national Senate live video and national videos from radio station Liberia having sessions there with Ministry of Education and senators saying, even in my country, I went to visit the rural area, I went to visit schools. I couldn't use the bathroom because the bathroom were bad. Senators saying that to Ministry of Education, Deputy Minister of Education today. Then y'all want to say, y'all know what the government is doing? No, they don't know what they're doing. No, I'm not saying everything they're doing is wrong. Or no. And when I saw your comment, I hear you say, oh, you know, in fact, it has to do with roads and things. Yeah, you can work and chew gum. Majority of the roads that we are building is not coming from the national budget that we sign every year. It's coming from concession. It's coming from how you call it? Call it loans. Loans. Money that our children will have to pay back. So they're not doing us any favor. No government official doing us any favor. They are there to work for us. And I want to say you are listening to Primetime Conversation with Dr. Pearson. And I'm not trying to talk down on the government or anything. I'm trying to tell us that we deserve better. Aaron, Jefferson, I want you to call me some more of those scratch cards before somebody get velvet and say, my man, I hear you talking about the scratch card rule. The scratch card rule. Jefferson, that call at least additional 4 more scratch cards.
Okay, so we have...
Or make it 2. Yeah, 2 more scratch cards.
2356.
2356. 2356. Call me one more.
And then we have 6084.
6084. Those of you who are meaning can say 0. 6084. So we just call you 2 more scratch cards. The last 4 numbers in those scratch cards. 2356 and the other one 6084. We'll open the lines to receive call. If you can call us back any of these sets of numbers or for any of these scratch cards, you will win yourself that scratch card you're going to call. Right? Now let's go to our next topic. The next topic we want to bring to the conversation here tonight has to do with the issue of Yeke Koluba. Right? Now let me say this. Representative, I always call him Representative Yeke Koluba. In my mind, he's still representative because I'm someone who respects the rule of law. In my mind, he is still representative. And in fact, don't argue with me, because if you want to argue with me now, say why the House of Representatives have not declared the seat vacant yet to the National Elections Commissions. But by our electoral laws, if a seat is vacant at any house of whether it's the House of Senate or the House of Representatives, that seat should be declared to the House to the National Elections Commission within 30 days of vacancy. That vacancy has not been announced because the issue is still before the Supreme Court, and then it means to say that Representative Koluba remains representative until that issue is finally decided. But let's talk about Justice Kaba's concern here. Now, let me say this. I do not support Yeka Koruba, Representative Yeka Koruba's statement concerning Guinea owns the land that they're sitting on at the border. I do not agree with that statement. And let me tell you why I do not agree with that statement. Because as far as I'm aware, that piece of land has been presumably, I'm using English here, that's what they call me data. Presumably, that land is for Liberia because where it appears we have had Liberians sitting on that spot for years immemorial. So I will say again, in my mind, because we've been squatting there all this time, I assume in my mind that that land is for us. So I will not be the Yeka Koruba to say, oh, the land is for Guinea, because I do not have all the information before me. My government, through my President Joseph Yima Boyka, has not taken up the time to say emphatically. When Bob says emphatically, it means without any doubt. You're not confused about it. You're not biting your tongue. You can say clearly, the land here is for Liberia and Guinea is on our land. President Boyka cannot say that. He has not said that. He cannot say that. We have not been told, even whether in school or outside of school or any official document in Liberia right now, to say this particular disputed land by policy direction, Liberian government through His Excellency Joseph Yima Boyka declared to Liberian people, this land is our land and Guinea is illegally possessing our land. He has not said that. According to President Boyka, he went to Guinea. He had a meeting with Dumaya, and then they had a communique that I read. In the communique said the land confusion that they have there, they will set up a committee to go and discuss it. They will do joint border patrol. So when I saw that part in the document, they said joint border patrol. I've been thinking, I want to bring AFL with Guinea, so you're at the border. What is it? Are they doing joint border? I can just see Jefferson have bunnies there. That I want to talk anything here, but you can't talk Jefferson. Just be the producer. You can't talk. You know, have bunny. But the document that I saw, the communique from Guinea says in French and in English that the Liberia and Guinea will conduct joint border patrol. Since I've been seeing video from that Lofa there with the Guinean garden there, the latest video, I see no Liberian AFL sitting there with them doing any jump patrol. So somebody say, oh, maybe immigration men in there, man, ERU men in there, or how we call it, that garden. Yeah, ERU, how you want to call it? We won't call it, I don't care. But yeah, immigration men in there. NSA meaning there, anyway, I won't call it, whoever you say there, yeah, but mind you, the people with the constitutional responsibility to defend the integrity of our territorial integrity is the AFL. In fact, in AFL, the act that created them, the document that created AFL, say it clearly, their responsibility is to defend the territorial integrity of our country. They are the ones that protect us from any invasion from outside. That not immigration can protect us from any aggression from outside. That not Liberia National Police. It's not ERU. It's the AFL. Somebody say, oh yeah, but that President Boyka don't want for there to be tension. Yeah. I agree with you. I don't want war. No, nobody want war. I went through war in Liberia. I lived through the war. I never left from Liberia until 2013, 2014 during the Ebola time. So with me, I lived through the entire war in Liberia, even to the point where my father said die in the war. So yeah, I don't want to see war. But at the same time, the communique from Guinea said Liberia and Guinea will conduct joint border patrol. So why AFL not there? So if they want depend on immigration, then yeah, be Guinean immigration with Liberia immigration there. That's what they go do the patrol. Or you want you ERU and that, yeah, Guinea be on ERU. You don't go do the border patrol. But if the Guinean military is there, then our military is supposed to be there, and Guinea is supposed to be on the side of their border, and then Liberia's military should be on our side of the border. If we say we know our borders, right? The how it's supposed to be. Now, let me go to Yeka Koruba with that clarity made. Yeka Koruba case before Justice Kabah. it's not necessarily the fact that the House of Representatives did not receive the rate of prohibition. That's not the so people getting anything confusing. Some people say that Jega Koruba went to the Supreme Court to Justice Kabah because of letter that the Supreme Court sent to the House of Representatives that the House of Representatives refused to read and said they never received it. That was not Jega Koruba's initial argument. Jega Koruba's initial argument was that he was not given due process of law and that his constitutional right was violated. That's why he went to the Supreme Court. That's why he went to the justice in chambers, Yusuf Kabah. So Kabah is supposed to understand and know that the complaint that Jega Koruba brought before him is the issue concerning the violation of his rights, his constitutional right to due process. That was the core issue. That was where he felt he was injured. Now, when it comes to the issue of the horse saying, "Oh, I never received your document," and Jega Koruba run back to them and said, "Listen, court, I understand. I was here. You sent document to the guys to handle my case, so you can look into my case." And they did not. They said they did not receive it, and they went ahead and still do what they said they were doing. So I want a better information so you can ask them what went wrong. That is a separate case all by itself. I want the Liberian people to hear this, and I want them to know this. I want Jega Koruba to even know this. Justice Kabah, you did not serve you did not solve the legal issue and the complaint that Jega Koruba felt injured of. You address issue that you got injured of. you discussed your injury. You did not discuss Jega Koruba injury. And if any Liberian person listening to me today, I want you to rewind the whole thing and think about it again. Jega Koruba went to Yusuf Kabah and told him, Justice Kabah, and said, "Justice Kabah, I feel that my right to due process was injured. I came to you to put stop to the injury being meted out against me." He did not go there to say, "Justice Kabah, I came to report to you that the guy did not receive a communication properly." That was not his complaint. The issue that had to do with the instrument that Justice Kabah, the citation Justice Kabah sent to those guys, and they said they didn't receive it in the process to whether how they can receive it or how they cannot receive it, that Justice Kabah's own injury. It is Justice Kabah's own injury. He needs to fix his own injury, but he needs to satisfy the complaint of the constitutional injury that Jega Koruba initially took to him. And I did not see him address that. Now, is this thing being politically handled? Is this the way they want to politically get rid of Jega Koruba? I don't know. I'm not accusing Justice Kabah. I'm only just saying to Justice Kabah, you still have to come back and address the actual injury that Jega Koruba initially took to you, that his constitutional right was violated. You need to also set a date to address that injury. Oh yes, you said you didn't receive my letter in time, and you still went ahead and did what you did. I don't have a problem with that. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Let me give you one example. Those of you listening to me in Liberia, primetime conversation followers. If you listen to Kia Radio 95.9, this opinion is the opinion of primetime conversation, not the views of Kia Radio FM 95.9. We only pay them to air our show. Let me make this clear here. If the legislature went and make a law, and the Supreme Court did not stop them from making any law, and then they make the law and they went now and the executive branch of government went to execute the law, and somebody went to the Supreme Court and said, "Supreme Court, I feel injured by this new law that the legislature made, and it is violating my constitutional right." Whether they were able to complete the making of the law, whether the president signed the law, whether the law is actively being enforced or not, according to the Constitution, the Supreme Court has the mandate and the authority to stop the execution of that law and to review it to establish the level of degree to which it is violating the Constitution, and then make a ruling and say, this from this point to this point, your law is correct. from this point to this point, your law is not consistent with the Constitution, this whole area is null and void. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that to say, even if these guys went and expelled Yeka Koruba, and if Yeka Koruba still feel injured, for which he went to Justice Kaba, Justice Kaba still has the right to properly serve the House of Representatives and say, oh, you say you didn't receive this communication, but yet and still, injury of the law in violation of the Constitution does not have any limit or limitation to when I can intervene and right the wrong of the injury in the Constitution that you have violated. So you still have to come here and give me cause to believe that you have not violated the right of Yeka Koruba to due process. That, Justice Kaba, is the meat of the matter. Justice Kaba, that is the meat of the matter. And I think that is where you need to come back and cite this time around properly, cite the House of Representatives, and then call Mr. Koruba and hear how he was injured and determine whether or not that injury is justified, and then he can be satisfied that he had due process in the law. Don't forget, Justice Kaba, the courts, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. If he does not get justice at the Supreme Court, then he has not gotten justice at all, and there's nowhere else he can go to get justice. I hear Representative Koruba lawyers are saying that they will go to the full bench of the Supreme Court on issues of the ruling of Justice Kaba just recently. If any of the lawyers are listening to me, the Massacre, I know Massacre, Councilor Massacre is a very good lawyer. I would tell Massacre, yeah, if you want to appeal to the full bench, you can go ahead. But my appeal to the full bench, I'm not a lawyer. Let me make that clear. I'm not a lawyer. I'm speaking here law is sense. If I'm appealing to the full bench of the Supreme Court, I will be appealing on the basis that the crust of Yeka Koruba complaint to Justice Kaba was not addressed. That what I'll be appealing to. And I want the full bench to address the issue that Yeka Koruba initially took to Justice Kaba, and then all the politics that play around that initial thing to make it not to stand up as the main issue for concern should be the main issue of concern before the full bench of the Supreme Court, that his due process right was violated and he was wrongfully expelled from the House of Representatives. Is there any precedence to this? Yes, there's precedence to this. When the majority black decided to go and hold their own election in the joint chambers and said that they no longer recognize what his name, Representative J. for Nati Kofa at the time he was the speaker, and they conducted their own elections and elected a new speaker while Kofa was still the speaker. Even though they completed the entire process and said they satisfied the same process, were carrying on activity, passing budget and everything, when they went back to the Supreme Court overall final ruling remains constant. Whether you did it, you did what you did. You never did what you did. In the eyes of the Constitution, everything you did was ultra virus. They are null and void. They do not stand. The same thing can stand for Yeka Koruba. Even though you went through the process, you say you got up 49 votes, but in the process, a portion of the process did not meet the standard of the law, the spirit of the law, and therefore it is ultra virus. It is that part we want the court to speak to. All right, it is that part we want the court to speak to. Now, so again, I must clarify. Am I saying that the issue with the border that Yeka Koruba talked about, that guy in the whole Rick Monroe with the horse, am I supporting that view? No, I'm not supporting that view. In fact, let President Booker tell me how he's still talking with Guinea president on that issue. Yeah, President Booker.
Issues for years, they came up again on the agenda. Issues for years, they came up again on the agenda. What is your message to the president of Guinea and the presidents of the region about those tensions today?
Fortunately, the president of Guinea and myself been sharing citizen this morning And we've been speaking very well. In fact, the first question he asked me, how is the border situation? And I told him things are getting under control. I think the president of Guinea is beginning to know that we are good neighbors, we are family people, and I think his thinking is changing. So
the worst is behind us.
I would believe so, but we have to work at it because tension don't just disappear in a day, but we are doing everything to show him that we are good neighbors. We've been working together for years and we can continue to do that.
So you trust Mamadi Doumbouya?
Mamadi Doumbouya and I talked today, and I called him my nephew, and I said, today I'll be seeing him. And he said, the doors are open.
Joseph Boakai, I want to thank you very much for being our guest.
Look, listen, I don't doubt the wisdom of the 40 years experienced president. I don't doubt his wisdom. He's saying, listen, I'm playing like Bassaman, you know, I let it get on the passport business. Jefferson on sanction, you can't talk on the show, he's just my producer, but I will pick on him. So Bassaman got a rat in the video in the interior, they call slow. The rat can boy, when you feed the pin, it blow. So slow can boy and blow. Maybe President Boakai playing slow, you know. He press more, he blow. He press more, he blow. However, when President Boakai chose to go about this thing diplomatically or traditionally, according to my nephew and all that kind of thing, that thing ain't wearing lofa again, wearing foya, not in Guinea. Doumbouya is not here for that foya rhetoric, my nephew and my uncle thing. No, he here for that nonsense. Doumbouya got a military ministry now to the border in Foya there with their arms and the money, their land. According to them, they say that their land. President Boakai, the international journalists ask you a very important question. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I want to throw a particular a light on it that does not come, that you're not hear from anywhere else besides primetime conversation. Some of the things you're going to hear, you're here the same topic every day, but the way we address it, you're not here anywhere. President Boakai. The whole thing about that conversation with you and our international journalists on France 24 was pinned on one question the guy kept for last. He said, do you trust Doumbouya? Do you trust him? And yeah, a Liberian poor journalism fighting about, the way Doumbouya and the papa sat down to the guy in the chair and the man saying, hides the border, it's an insult and all that kind of thing. All that one there, we hear all that part of story. The main point the man is going out as an international journalist, a learned journalist, is the expression, do you trust him? That is the meat of that interview. Because everything else you told the guy, it didn't make sense to him because you didn't tell him anything that makes sense when it comes to sound leadership and someone who is defending the integrity of their country's border as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia, with our American currency, our 2,000 strong military forces ready. My student unification party, SAO, beginning with say our vanguard forces ready. You know, and my vice president Jeremiah Kuhn say we get 3 men who are well trained, and you know who can penetrate Guinea and take over the whole village and town. We hear all I want. But the question the journalist asking that is important: do you trust Doumbouya? Because at the end of the day, that's why it comes to. Do you trust him? And Mr. President, because that question is important. We're asking you the same question. Do we trust you too, Mr. President? President Boakai, can we trust you that you are on top of the border issue? President Boakai, President Joseph Yman Boakai, uncle, can we trust you? Can we trust you with the border issue? The same way the journalists ask you, do you trust Doumbouya? Now, Liberian people, now they feeding some kind of way, the way Doumbouya treat you. Doumbouya treat just on picking at my man. How the border? Are you funny? You send somebody to my side the border, how the border? You president and my side president. If I was supposed to be briefed by my security forces, my security advisor, you can get security advisor will brief you too. So then you can look at me, can ask me how the border. When you myself want to discuss, you made me to go to Liberia and have whole big meeting and lie to my own people and tell them, say, oh, right now as we speak, Guinea agree, they will go back to the side. And we're still on our side. You think I'm lying? Let me play.
Messages of encouragement and solidarity reaffirm Liberia's standing in the community of nations and strengthen our collective resolve to pursue diplomacy and dialogue. Let me be clear to every Liberian. Our pursuit of peaceful resolution is not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of strength. It is easier to fight, break down, and destroy. As our own journey has taught us, it is more difficult to recover and build. That is why the government is exploring every available avenue to resolve this matter peacefully. We will continue to rely on diplomacy, dialogue, and the mechanisms of regional cooperation to ensure that this issue is addressed responsibly and without conflict. Liberia has always been a nation that stands firmly for peace.
So yeah, we agree. We want to do the thing peacefully. We want to do the thing here without any major conflict. But have you come back to tell us that the general asked you, how far you guys going to think? You say, I believe. Under control. You believe? You know, the finance minister, Gafan said, we'll be praying about economic issue. Now, the president say he believe. Don't mean business. The message, do you trust him? Let me tell you why trust is important, Mr. President. Trust is important because when you tell Liberian people, say, oh, Guinea men are going back to the side, we want to see that they're going back to the side. If you tell us, say, oh, they're going back to the side, and we see that they ain't going back to the side, then we start holding you now with one grain of salt. You know, say, Mr. President, you tried it there last time, you know, you ain't happy, oh. How can we trust you? Now, we want to see when you say you go into the thing diplomatically, they may ask you, what are the different measures you're taking? You couldn't see anything of substance to say, oh yeah, we've had meetings, we have sessions, and these are the outcome of the meetings, and this is where we are now with the conversation. This is where the border issues are right now. You couldn't come up with nothing, Mr. President. Nothing. Then in addition, they may ask you, finally, they may ask you, do you really believe this guy? You trust this guy? Mr. President, you cannot, hint the lives of the citizens of the Republic of Liberia when they have entrusted you as President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Liberia, and then you hink the nation's territorial integrity on a fragile trust that does not have any credibility to it. We feel you should be more precise when you are talking to these issues, you know. And I want to state that, Mr. President, go and think about that question again. Do you really trust Dumbuya? If you trust Dumbuya, are the things you people have been discussing, are they finally working for our country? I'll leave that with you. Sleep on that. All right. Jefferson, I want you to call me 2 more of that numbers. If you don't mind, call me 2 more of that cell phone, last 4 digits of 2 more of the cell phone numbers. My Piggy Shelton is on tonight, and I want to say hi to him. I know he will call tonight.
Okay, so we have 6740.
6740.
And we also have 6816.
6816. 6816. All right. So let me go into the next topic quickly. All right. But before I go into that, the next topic quickly, let me hear from my ANC girls. you know, I love the ANC girls. You know, if you want to join our ANC girls, please go down to I will forget about the area opposite Catholic Junction, VP room. Opposite Catholic Junction, VP room. Our headquarters is there. ANC headquarters is there. You can join this our girls group, our girls brigade, Cummings Girls Brigade. And this is what I want to tell you about Mr. Cummings.
For better future, support Mr. Cummings.
All right, for better future in Liberia, support Mr. Cummings. All right, let me go to the next topic on the agenda here tonight, on the menu. 4 minutes of Samuel 12. My man, I look, Liberian people, a lot of us, we got serious issue with corruption. We want to see people prosecuted. People who steal money in our country must be prosecuted. They must be brought to the law. They must be made to account for the stolen money. And not only those who stole money, but those who stealing money, they got to know that it's LSCC. Now, I posted on my page today. I said I got no confidence in LSCC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. I got no confidence in no guys. I won't refer to the lady. I will say the guys, because the guys can be the one who can be pressing button. The lady then they left trouble. So I would lead the lady, even though the lady at the head, but I would do it. But those guys ain't serious for nothing. They serious. Let me tell you something. If we really want to fight corruption in Liberia, we not went to the post, steal the money, and pay the horse, and enjoy themselves, they get big gut, they ride fancy car, ride first class airplane, everything before we go chase them. By the time you hear some money, small money, get noise, man, jump there. Jump behind it. Then you know you're fighting corruption. But you sit down there, Amos Square there, Mo Ali there, our men to NASCAR who keeping pension people money, and take our country money and go post $6+ million in 4 years. Without legislative approval, without the president knowing anything about it, the president can say, "Oh, I know about it." Now he can talk stuff. I don't know about the money how they did. I don't know when it first started. In fact, they told me say that my friend, my old time friend, and even though he passed away now, but he the one who started, and they think he was doing the project here, and my old time friend, now he passed away now, that his legacy project, so I won't stop it. So the people who steal the money and put it in the 4-year project now, we just stay there, that MRC, I know nothing about that money there. I know nothing about it. I was fasting, they put on the website. I was fasting not in that project. We know nothing about that project. And you guys say, okay, now the government project. Seriously, the LSCC are not going after the guys yet. Is it wrong to develop Liberia? No. Is it wrong to build a decent area in the country who can have major international meetings? No, it's not wrong. But do we need to know where the money coming from to go there? Yes, because our country get problem with stealing. And because the country get problem with stealing, nobody shouldn't go take money and go say, "Oh, I'm making it. I'm building one big mansion for the country." No, don't take it Konosa. Let it go through the House of Representatives and the Senate. Let it sign it in the budget. We all see the money in the budget. We say, "Okay, that money going on." When that money spent, we say, "Okay, yeah, the money spent on." Yeah, that GSC go audit and let's see how the money was spent. That's how we want to see the thing to work. People can be stealing money and you just look. Okay, let me get one. I let me tell you about pastor too. I let God business. Let me bring small bow inside. The pastor making leave bow behind and God behind. Pastor mean let church business. Even though I'm pastor mean by growing pastor time. Let me say this. The person know that when you get human being change, they can steal. So God told Saul, he said, "Saul, go fight war." When you go fight the war, Saul, when you fight in the war, when you coming from there, don't bring nothing from there. So I say, "Funke." Yeah, my librarian English coming to me this morning. I getting back to me. God said, when you going, so you're going to fight the war. Don't bring nothing from there. Don't take nothing. Don't take nothing from there. Come back with your empty hand. So I said, "Funke." So I went to fight the war. The man fought when the man low, he saw the kind of juicy plum. He said, "Oh, the plum are too juicy. I can't let the plum rotting." He took it, put in your bear. Because you're looking at him from heaven, you're looking at him. The man partner said, "You see the bitter go saying, nah." He said, "Yeah, that bitter go looking too fat." You kill all that bitter go, I gotta carry it. He tied rope on that one way, leg, he put it behind. The man packing. I want me, God bless you. They men came back with a penalty behind. Yeah, they better go then crying. The sheep then crying. Everything crying. God says, Samuel, wake up. The prophet, he says, Samuel, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Go meet Saul. Samuel said, what happened again? God said, go meet the man. Go meet the man. You get him up being small chain, they won't stay. I told the man, when you go to go fight that war, don't bring nothing from there. Samuel, when he met Saul, he said, but Saul, how come now God told you, say, when you go do the, you PRC boss. God said, go, when you go to go do that LPRC, where don't take some of the fuel and put in your thing and come outside with it. Why you coming outside with some of the fuel in the thing? Then Saul said to Samuel, he said, oh, you know, when I went, I saw the other one looking too fat. I saw the other one looking too fat. So I decided to bring it so I can kind of make it, give it to you for sacrifice. That Joseph brought and said, I brought a few years, I can give you some for sacrifice. God look at the guy for a long time. God look at Samuel. He said, Samuel, he said, tell Saul. He said, Saul, didn't I tell you when you go there, don't bring nothing from there? It was a clear-cut instruction. Samuel said, oh, I bring it to sacrifice it to you. God said, no. I prefer you to obey me than to sacrifice to me. In other words, God telling, he said, I prefer for you to obey me than for you to bribe me. God, you trying to bribe me. So what the guys did yet, the bribe Joseph Burger. Don't mean bribe Joseph Burger. Don't mean it their own. At the same time, they said the other one put in that put the billion here. It will bust the paper here with it. Say, oh, the big billion, $10 million project will build in Foya district. In Foya, I mean in Foya. So they go build in Foya, will bust the paper here. Why the paper here bust? And you know, wait, let me show you the paper here again. Let me show you the paper here. This does not represent the view of Kia Radio. This is prime time on show here. Let me show you the paper here.
Encouragement and solidarity reaffirm Liberia's standing in the community of nations and strengthen our.
We want to ensure the standing of the country in the community or nation. We want to show that Liberia is up to par. Liberia, they say we can rescue Liberia now, so Liberia cannot be the kind of Liberia that we took from CDC. Because CDC didn't support it. But then the boss the paper here. The boss the paper here in Foya. Boss the paper here in Foya. Those men took money from LPRC according to information. They took money from Water and Seawater information. They took money from NASCO, where the people pension money is. Classified information. They took money from other places than this. They said a big mansion for President Broka on that side. At the same time, they either has LSCC going to go investigate the garden? Zero. At least the LSCC just say, man, no, let me just go check, just for checking sake, just because we heard that, and you know, the president said he never knew about this project here, and the money did not go through the House of Representatives and the Senate and the national budget. At least that just go there to just see, at least just go test and see if something wrong happened. Nothing. Everybody just lock them up, either lock them up. I got no confidence in the LSCC. No confidence in the LSCC. So the Senator case went to court. They say Senator not guilty. The judge called the rule after the jury brought the case. They read it back. He said, 4 men. And they say 4 men. If you're listening to this radio station and this show, 4 men means when they say in court, the judge said 4 men mean the head juror. Head juror. He said, yeah, chief, yeah, judge, your honor. Are you ready with the verdict? Yeah, your honor, ready with the verdict. Okay. Now that you ready with the verdict, what the verdict say? The verdict say the man not guilty yet. Not guilty. So so now the verdict say yeah. Say, oh, juror, y'all agree? They say we agree. 12 people, other than 12 of them saying, yeah, we agree with the verdict. He said, you're sure you agree? You reached this verdict yet? He said, yeah, we agree. Say, okay. Saying yes, you agree, you're ready now, the man is free, let the man go. Samatwe, yeah, go free. You're free. The people say they listen to all the evidence they brought against you. The evidence is not enough to make you to be found guilty. They say that yeah, you don't want sign for the money. You don't want sign for the money for the people to get the money, for the security sector to get the money. You don't want the one in charge of making sure that the security people get the budget from Central Bank, everything, but they didn't prove that you don't want took the money and use the money for yourself. So since they couldn't prove that part there, well, you're free to go. Oh, so now free to go? Yeah, you're free to go. All right, jurors. Yeah, jurors. Your work finished. You're free to go. You're go home. The juror work finished, the case finished. Judge going to do a final paperwork to get about the paperwork. Unity Party people crying all over the place. Oh, someone trying to go free. Oh, someone trying to go free. The man eat the money. Listen. The reason why we take people to court is because we are a country of laws. The certain matters, when people got matters, people got differences in the community, the reason why we get the courts is so that they can settle it by themselves. Because instantly, by they said they will take the law in their own hand. Once we send people to court and the people go to the court and their cases are heard and the court make their ruling, the case is closed. When you're guilty, you're guilty. When they say to go to jail, you go to jail. So to pay fine, you pay fine. If you're not guilty, the court say you came in as a free man because our constitution say anybody who is accused, you are innocent until you're proven guilty. You came in a free man with a charge on you. We examine the charge, we find the charge did not hold and the charge can't fit. Go home, you free. You came here free man, go back home free man. Everybody go home. Then the same 3 jurors who said in the court, the judge asked you certified with the ruling yet? Yeah, we certified. That thing you're coming from you? Yeah, coming from y'all sure the man free? Yeah, the man go free. The man going free. Then the 3 men from the same people come the 3 men who did not want someone to be free come back to the judge and say, Judge, after we sat at home for 2 weeks, we believe we have something from you. What do you have from me? Some people having cell phone in the room where they're in secret. Some people having cell phone. We believe maybe they call us out, and then somebody call them, and maybe they get them money. And so because somebody maybe get them money, so maybe the case was tempered with. Oh, so why are you talking after 2 weeks? The first thing the judge is supposed to ask them was, why you think so we can keep your in secret for the time of the case that we can let you come outside? It's because we want nobody to temper with you. Now you've been outside for a whole 2 weeks. How am I sure nobody temper with you? How am I sure nobody temper you? They say they're going to do CCTV, they're going to look at CCTV, and they're going to ask the people who are manning the door to see if nobody temper with the jurors. But the question that remains here is that, is it wrong to investigate the jurors? I would say no, it's not wrong to investigate the jurors. I think the national police should have been the one in charge of that thing because it's a criminal matter. Because the jurors no longer on the jurisdiction of the court, the jurors did a job, they go home. So now if there's any felonious activity that associated with that whole case now, it's a separate case by itself. Separate case by itself that had to do with crooked jurors that violated the law. So deal with them separately. Get them over to the Justice Ministry or to the National Police, then they be investigated with their lawyers. Because according to the Constitution, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And when a man is accused of a crime or allegedly accused of a crime, that man cannot be questioned in the absence of his lawyer. The Constitution says if you ask a man question in the absence of his lawyer without reading to him his rights, any evidence you take from that man cannot be used in the court of law. So yeah, the court can refer the case to the National Police and say, investigate the case for us because we feel something went on that was criminal in nature. That can be, the police can investigate, and when they find issues, they can charge those jurors that violated the laws to court and be prosecuted. And if the effect of that case with the jurors has any bearing on the judgment of the case so that it jeopardizes the rights of citizens and did not give them fair trial, free and fair trial, then the lawyers of injured party to that case can go back to the court and say, we feel that this ruling injured our client because of the jurors' action. So we coming now to appeal for a retrial. Those who feel injured by the jurors' action can ask for a retrial. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But now you tell the people behind closed door, what you told them, you told them, what you squeeze out of them, you squeeze out of them, what are you bribe them, you bribe them, what are somebody bribe them before they came to report the case, or didn't bribe them. Now, how you approve all that one another? We know that was hard there. If you are listening, you're listening to Primetime Conversation, and I'm Dr. Pearson with Primetime Conversation. We come on every Thursday at 3 p.m. in the USA Eastern Time, and every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Liberia, Liberian time. We need to go to the lines. Before we go to the lines, Jefferson, can you call me 2 more of that scratch card, the last 2 scratch cards?
Okay, so 6860.
6860. 6860. And then the last scratch card?
6677.
6677. 6677. Okay. My viewers out there you have it. I want to say thank you for viewing tonight. It was a pleasure having you. Amos, Samuel Twain, lawyer, went to the court today, not to the court, but to the office of the asset recovery team who invited Samuel Twain concerning another $2 million, they say, concerning rest issue, all the kind of stuff. Well, again, go after all the cases of corruption and what we want to see. Go after the cases. Just don't play politics with it. And if there's anybody right now who are playing with our country money, get on them also. Get on them also. Then we can say, yeah, the LSCC is working or the asset recovery team is working. But if you're leaving one group who's stealing the money now, and you're waiting for a new government to come before they go chase them, when they finish eating all the money, finish hiding the money, then what good is the asset recovery team? What good is the LSCC? That's zero. We just spoil money on you for nothing. Like, yeah, what Councillor Arthur Johnson said before we open the lines. About Samuel Twain and with the new money business call to conference with the asset declaration people. The asset recovery people, I mean.
All like waiting in the hallway or waiting room, and when they're ready to send for it. So we are going back. If the chairman is ready this time, he will write all again. And when he does that, this time we come again, he does the same thing. And they are not, in fact, taking us to the investigation room for us to talk to the whoever wants to talk to us. We go back again. That's all we have to do.
Yeah, so Samuel Twain lawyer walk off from asset recovery office because they went there, and then the guys were not ready to receive them. And then they put out a statement and say, well, the main lawyer wrote them before and told him to reschedule. The military reschedule didn't get your car and come to your office. When you see Arthur Johnson, Council Arthur Johnson, that were there, that means a seasoned lawyer, well-learned lawyer, sound lawyer. The man winning your back and forth, kicking your general market door in the courtroom, right? They that kind of man can't get your car, point your gas, a gas priority going way up to $5 US for 1 gallon gas. The man get your car, go point a small gas, go way to asset recovery office, only to go there because he get an appointment there. You start playing with the country. Look, let us be serious and do the right thing. Do the right thing. Then let me close on the one before you open the line.
Supportive, I won't lie. You mentioned all law, imposing more 1 or 2 months salary. You know, we feel satisfied.
Were you on salary where? Where were you on salary?
I was taking pay with general ministry from the beginning.
Were you working with general?
No, not working, but I was taking pay.
How you are taking pay? Are you working? How you are taking pay?
No, after when Joga came to power, she decided to say the president said every official should choose the artists they will support.
Okay.
And so he said, my man, she was fighting to put me on the civil servant, but it didn't work out.
But how you expect that to work out when you were not working with civil servant? You were not working with general ministry, and you wanted to get on the payroll?
Yeah, too hard now.
That's rather funny country, man. That's rather funny country. So that's the lesson I want to. I put this up for a reason. I want to teach a lesson, then we'll go to the next. That's why prompt time conversation is there to give you something you have not heard before, right? On the same issue you've been hearing all day. Let me give you something that you have not heard before. Let me say this, right? When you an artist, whether you are an influencer, you are whatever you want, whatever skills you got, whether you're a musician, comedian, it is a payable skill. It is a payable skill. With that skill, you're supposed to earn a living from it. You should earn a living from it. If you have musical skills and you can sing, and maybe President Broca call you and say, I'm sending you to gender ministry to go and work at the general ministry or maybe the mobilization team or whatever they got there. My brother, you are working. It is a job. You go sit at home. You go sit and say, oh, I get a job, but the job, they put me on payroll. No, they not put you on. When I give you money for free, they were giving you money for you to offer service. And what I know is that we use musicians to do public service announcements on radio and things to promote certain major public issues. We use them during campaigns, not talking about political campaign. Maybe like what they got Ebola going on now. Musicians are used, maybe someone to go and create awareness and things around the country and stuff like that. Maybe the way we have COVID and things, you go around and make awareness. We got rape cases all around the country. If you are creative, you can make some creative songs. And then as a general ministry ambassador, and you go from county to county promoting those songs. That give message that will keep people from not abusing women, not abusing children, not raping people, all that kind of thing. So there's a lot you can do with your skills. Do not let anybody to make you to feel that because you're not going wearing tie and necktie and costume and sitting off the air conditioner blowing there, you're not working. No. Do you know how many renowned influencers and musicians who sit down, who basketball player, football player in America, call them football player, who can play the American football, basketball, tennis player, who sit down, who can go to anybody, any company office, but they're paying them millions of dollars because they're using their pictures to promote something that the company wants to promote or what the nation wants to promote. You are a living talent, and you're supposed to live off of your talent. Don't look down on yourself like that and say, oh, they're paying me, but I was not working. No, you were given a piece of job. You need a manager. And if you listen to my voice, you're an influencer, let nobody use you for what they call CP, for free. Your talent should be rewarding for you, and you should be able to live off of it. All right, so I will stop there. Let's take calls now. Jefferson, can you please help me open the line, if you don't mind?
Okay, so it's time that you interact. This is LRB Feature TV Primetime Conversation. 0777 959 959 0777 959 959 0889 283 938 and +231 777 959 959. Please, when you call, go straight to the point. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Watson.
Yes, Prince Talibu.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. PSC. Thank you for the discussion on that.
You're welcome, brother.
The comment said they came to fight corruption, but I think the corruption they came to fight only summer to all this. Because I think when you get juror for any case, I think the only people who get access to the juror is the security that money. Even your family can get access to them on phone. So when five or play with the juror, we should be asking the government because only they get access to the juror. But the people here, they just keep the way from mostly summer 12 to see summer 12 in code the content, shed and pause with tears after he spoke for 30 seconds. The government need to be sure the prisoner is setting a bar for the people. A bar for the next government that will come when they're doing it will not look good.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me make it clear. Let me make it clear.
Information minister will sit down on radio. Who did it? Just insulting. Even for the girl information on this part, nothing like that. And the thing what you're doing to the thing that want to when the play was doing, now they tell
Thank you.
Go on. Okay, brother Jeff.
You want to try the scratch card?
Me try on the card there. Getting me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's your 32. It's your 32.
Call your number.
775
775
20
20
30
30
28.
28.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good evening. 0777 959 959 0777 959 959. And let's get this person. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes.
My name is. I'm calling from Singapore.
Say your name is?
I'm calling from Singapore.
Okay, Fina, go ahead.
Yeah, my concern first thing has to do with the Solomon border issue. Why up to now the government has not launched investigation into what led to the Guinean crossing war or seizing equipment from the Makona River? Why up to now the government has not launched investigation into that issue? That's one of my concerns. And secondly, follow-up of cases in the country. I think early this year, there was a case about one, I know, which security entity, and then the boss, one of the bosses there, allegedly raped a 16-year-old boy. I don't know what become of that case up to now. We'll update from there. So those are my two concerns.
Thank you for your view, man.
Hello?
You want to attempt the question for the card, the scratch card?
You want a team question? Oh, she went off. Yeah. Yes.
Good evening.
Your name, what you call?
So my name is I'm Mr. Realist.
Hey, realist. Go ahead.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
Yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
So I love President Bwaka. Bwaka can talk too. President Bwaka said the thing that never happened, it will happen. And so our judiciary, now, yeah, okay, our judiciary now, they have DRO. There's DRO now. The case can go and the DRO, they bring it back. That's what happened. Because they will know the law. They will have all the power into the law and people trusted them and put them there. How can a case go and get the jury off? They go in the midst of the people. I think they can be in a house for police to mount them so they can be policed. But you already send the people in the midst of the same people that you preventing them from. And you calling them back to go into the case. So, I don't know how really the government operating actually. And that's all my business. That's all my issue business. President Bwaka know why you're asking me for. Maybe he has promised your own diamond, I'll give it to you. Be there until you find your diamond. When you complete, then you go back. That's why he said he is under control. He knows. I thought that maybe Ghana president or Nigeria president, who is out of the whole mark of the conflict, will ask how your conflict looks like. But instead of man who have the reason of the conflict, will ask you how the conflict, because today when Dumuya says, I go, hey, y'all withdraw, that whole conflict finished. Then he will ask you, say, why, how the conflict there to the border. Thank you, my brother.
You want to attempt, Dr. Pearson? He left the line. Yeah, let me get this person. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Jefferson. How you doing?
Yes, I'm okay.
Yeah, let me say good evening to Dr. Peterson.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Sheton, and I do join you from a lake corner in Loudon.
Happy pre-birthday.
Yes, thank you, sir.
My man, I send you a birthday. Don't worry. I will comply with that birthday. I comply with that birthday.
Ask you. So, I call tonight to thank my political leader, Mr. Alexander Cummings, for representing Liberia on a global stage. The thing that when people political political party, people went there like they would sell instead of selling, the country in the country interest. But Mr. Cummings, man, back in days, actually when I saw the video on the LBC TV, I was so excited and to be serious. I'm very proud of my political leader in such a way that he can push Liberia to the wall and can stand more many, African leaders to get idea about the economy, how Africans should be and stuff. So I'm very grateful to him and kudos to him and keep on the good work.
All right.
Thank you. You want to take a shout out the cards?
Yeah, let me try.
Go ahead.
Yeah, 2356.
2356. What's your number?
777.
777.
84.
38.
30.
30. Okay.
Thank you for the show.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, your name, we call from where?
My name is Emmanuel Simbo, and I do call from New Jersey.
Go ahead, some more. 1 minute.
Yeah, I was surprised when I hear our president speaking the certain way he spoke. I mean, who does that? Is it about trying to tell that the agreement he new president when he is okay, you take the land, I will see how to talk to my people and for them to move on there. So, that conversation seems to me like you have somebody hurting you, then they ask you, they play hurting. And then you then ask you, they play hurting. That question there for our president to answer. I mean, that's kind of frustrating. So
let me ask you. Let me ask you. You trust Dumbuya?
Huh?
Do you trust Dumbuya?
How would I trust somebody that hit me? Then no, I'm trusting. I don't trust Dumbuya.
The maintenance of your president, you know what? The none of your president, the more friend of your president. In fact, your president say after the man say, he told the general say the man say we have meeting after today. They were going to have meeting, even though the meeting that secret meeting, secret part meeting.
So the secret meeting, the secret conversation there now. Then the people say the land while like Guinea land, what Dumbuya say my para don't you want to gain something? Yeah. So the only thing just told the people there, yeah. So that quality more than because we can dialogue. Is about when there's after the dialogue, the people cross. So what kind of meeting? I sense too. I don't understand it in that way. I sense.
Anyway, my brother at the president nephew. The president nephew. So you want to try the scratch card?
Yeah, I want to try.
Go ahead.
9761.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0880
17 55 37.
Yeah.
Okay. This person. Sorry for that. 777-959-959 077-959-959. Good evening.
Hello.
Your name, where you call from?
Yeah, there's a Winston Tabla calling from District 16.
Oh, Winston. 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. I listened to your talking point. You know, the issue that has to do with the former finance minister, you know, it's clear that it's political witch hunt because for 2 years, they got make it to power. Initially, the time they come to power, the men behind the men, they say, men are criminal. For 2 years, they and the men were in court. The men were in Africa, he sit down for him to go to court. After the juror decided that the man is not guilty, they disbanded the juror for 2 weeks for them to call the juror back again for 3 persons to say the man is, or people were for they receive bribes. So the men and government will get more money to bribe people. So it's a clear indication that all they want to see is to change the particular man. So that's it. Yeah.
You want to scratch card?
Yeah, my number is 6860.
6860.
Yeah.
Call your number quickly.
076
yeah.
17
66
60.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Mambilu.
Yeah, Mambilu.
Okay.
My country was my concern, trustee for you.
All right.
You know, let me and the people the way my small brother came on stage and say that to hunting for come here to us. You want to see to come here to enter in jail. Then it will be like 2029. Then we are going in trouble with them and we're not happy. You can't get me to court. Then the people say are free. They are going for 1 week, 2 weeks. Then you say that's other people come from behind and all of them they need to vote. Then they agree. Then they come back. They say they're not certified for the court, the case. So they must call them back to go. They pay their way. They buy car, they put in their car, they go to the play while they show go first pay them. Nobody not for them. That thing what they put doing, that they're doing. Let you forget, they must not forget Again, I want Deca. Your friend died, then you happy or like going to. Tomorrow it will be Alexander Kumi to be president in the country. It will be what a man Musa Belete, it will be president in the country. Or it will be Joe we are a time the people will pay that on it.
Okay.
They are what they're talking about. I Benu Lee Kamara for down what point. Our 39 years are talking our Bola Baka study. Because Baka can still draw from Guinea, they draw them 1 million plot. We small they draw on our money. He said the holy. No here, no take. That the money Baka war for that Bola. The thing will not know. Me, I born all my children for Guinea. My children all are born by my home. I not born by Liberia. All my children for Guinea. So but I can't fool up. I can call my children. They say the man call the money for the man for the place. He was young, my son. Baba, yeah, that story. They will come.
Thank you, man.
Asking question. You know what to tell you more. Now people what I tell like the freedom president was standing there. He was feeling bad. What I were in a paper to Sunday? They put it in Jabate. Who on it? The name of Pharaoh Baka. They don't know.
Thank you, Marvin.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you very much.
Choose your own number.
My number is 0555.
No, what are the card? Oh, yeah.
088.
Give me your phone number. Give me your phone number.
She went off. Yeah, well, I'll take her number for her. She went off.
All right, we're taking 2 more calls, so I can.
Yeah, let me get you.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. Call your name.
Okay, Jeff. This is Mohammed
Donzo Fofana. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff. I want to say good evening to Pearson.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay. Well, my attention, Pearson was deliberating. My attention, when he said about the justice system of our country, because the case between Yeke and I listened to Pearson. Pearson said that why Yeke cares to the court is not what you call rude. That is unfair. To our democracy, because Mr. Bwaka should stop, in the judiciary with intimidation. He should stop this, because that ruling tells you that the executive, has in that ruling how we rule, what the president, the case that the president carry on that case, let us stop this, man. Our country is not a country that we should stop, hunting each other. And we look at the 12 case. This is not good. There has just been a lot of, there are a lot of agencies now. They are stealing the country money. The asset recovery or the DAC, they're not going after these things. Look at the project from Lofa. See that project. Mr. Bwaka, contract they said 2 different times on that same project. Say the FCC they need to go to investigate, and then the case that that the judge have always cleared. Then you guys saying that you should go back to that maybe that input to the other case will comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Choose your number. The last 4 digits.
My number. Hello?
Yes, the last 4 digits.
Yeah, I can take.
Oh, he went up too.
I think we're out of time, Jefferson.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you to my listeners and viewers out there. You got Jefferson's number. Hook up with him if you love Jefferson. Come on, morning show. Jefferson has a morning show every morning.
Yeah.
Come on and be a part of it. Jefferson, any other announcement? Maybe I'm missing something.
Say?
Any announcement?
Well, nothing much. Just the Kia morning show. That's all.
All right, the Kia morning show. John Jefferson, what time tomorrow morning?
No, I took my break tomorrow morning. The other guys will be here. But we here from Monday to Thursday.
All
On
right.
Monday to Thursday, yeah.
All right, it's a pleasure being with you. Jefferson was my anchor, and I am Dr. Pearson. It was a pleasure. Have a good night. Check your doors, your windows, and make sure everything is safe. God bless you.
Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.